Why does President Joe Biden not trust Kamala Harris? You would think that might be an easy question to answer, but it's not, and we just found that out. Folks, my name is Carmine Sabia, and this is Explain America. Before we get started, please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Those little things really help us out and help our channel continue to grow. President Joe Biden is in Japan for the G7 summit, and Peter Ducey's there, along with other reporters, and so is White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre. Now, Karine Jean-Pierre, she's used to taking some tough questions from Ducey, but this one really had her chasing her tail. Ducey asked her why the president didn't trust Kamala Harris to lead the debt ceiling negotiations while he's at the G7. After all, former President Obama trusted then Vice President Joe Biden to do the same when he was not in town during the previous debt ceiling negotiations. But Harris doesn't get that trust from Biden, and Ducey wanted to know why, and it is a good question. Not only is Harris not doing the negotiations, she's not even in D.C. She's clear across the country in Los Angeles. Why? Why is she nowhere near the Capitol during such a crucial time as our government and our country hangs on the precipice of not being able to pay its bills? Why would the vice president not be involved in these negotiations? Well, Ducey wanted the answer, and Karine Jean-Pierre, let's just say she did her best to avoid giving it to him. Let's take a look at that.
Thanks, Karine. So the last time that we got this close to a debt ceiling default, President Obama deputized his vice president to lead the negotiations. Why doesn't President Biden trust Vice President Harris to lead these negotiations while he's in Asia?
Well, I disagree with the premise of your question. The president does. Let me.
She could be at the Capitol. Why isn't she?
The president entrusts the vice president, as we all know, as we have stated many times. She was in the meeting that with the congressional members that occurred very recently, right before the president left for Japan. She has been in regular conversations as well, and has been in conversations with the president. He has taken her consult and listened to her advice, as he always does on many issues. This is one of many issues, and so that has not changed. And I think you actually said something that is incredibly important. The president has been there before, right? He has dealt with these types of negotiations, these types of conversations before. He knows how this all works. This is not new to him, and this is why he is optimistic, and this is why these conversations are going to continue, and he's going to stay on top of them.
And you just said that you're assuming the president will be updated momentarily by the team. What was he doing for the last several hours while they were in these meetings?
Well, they were having conversations, right? They were on the Hill. The negotiators, but how would he? Yeah, but how would he be updated if they're still having conversations on the Hill? It just ended moments ago.
Couldn't he call
Look, Peter.
Look,
Peter.
The first year of his term, he conducted because of the COVID pandemic by video conference. Is that not possible right now?
Look, Peter. We're going to give the space to these negotiators, the time and the space to have these conversations. That's what we're going to do. The president is going to continue to be updated regularly, daily, as he has been for the past couple of days, and that's how we're moving forward. That's how we're seeing this process. The president has sat down twice with congressional leaders very recently to hear them out, to have the conversation, to talk about his budget, to talk about the urgency of getting the debt limit done, of Congress doing their job. And so he continued to hold the line in that way. And so, look, we're going to have the negotiators have their conversation. They just ended their last convening, if you will, and they're going to reconvene. I'm certain of that. And so the president's going to get an update from his team, as he did last night, as he done the last couple of days. I'm just going to keep going. Go ahead.
Fred Astaire did less dancing than Karine Jean-Pierre did during that clip. Folks, here's the thing. Vice President Kamala Harris is supposed to step in at a moment's notice. She's supposed to be able to step in at a moment's notice to take over the responsibilities of the presidency of the United States. And yet, with such an important task, such as debt ceiling negotiations, she's not trusted. She failed when she was entrusted with the border. Now, apparently, she's in charge of AI, and she won't be in charge of the debt ceiling negotiations. So why is that? Well, he let her sit in on the meetings. What's it like, take your kid to work day? Why is she not at the head of this while he's at the G7. It doesn't make any sense unless he really does not trust her ability. And he shouldn't. I mean, after all, she may be the most unqualified vice president in the history of this nation. Now, of course, there's people who will try and tell you that it's sexist or it's racist or it's some kind of ist or phobe to believe that about Harris. But she's shown herself to be a complete and utter failure again and again. So it's none of those things. It's the fact that you have eyes and you can see that she can't do her job. And that's pretty obvious for everybody at this point. It's even obvious for sleepy, senile, dementia-ridden Joe. Folks, again, I'm Carmine Sabia, and this is Explain America. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. We love you guys. God bless you. Take care, everybody.